Welcome to Back Talk, the premier podcast from Successful Black Parenting Magazine, featuring in depth conversations and expert insights on crucial topics for Black families. We're ranked one of the top 4 Black family podcasts on FeedSpot and number 1 on Million Podcasts. This is our special broadcast of Black Mom Influencers Unplugged. I'm your host, Janice Robinson-Celeste. If you like our content, I invite you to join our online community, our village of like-minded parents over at Black Parenting Academy by Successful Black Parenting Magazine. I will post the link during the show. It's a safe place to share your parenting wins, comments, concerns, or to get help with parenting challenges. Now, back to the show. Again, this is our special series, Black Mom Influencers Unplugged. And today I have an amazing mom of triplets in the studio. So stay tuned and I'll be right back.
This is Back Talk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine, the most listened to podcast for parents by parents.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Back Talk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine, your go-to podcast talk show for parents. Share our podcast with your friends, shout it out to your followers, because sharing is truly caring. And don't forget to use hashtag BackTalk when you post. On today's show, I have a Black mom influencer who goes by the name of Jayne A, and she is the creative force behind FabMom NG, a vibrant Nigerian parenting and motherhood site. She is a proud triplet mom, career professional in media and marketing, and a mompreneur. Jayne blends her humor, oh my God, it's so funny, healing and depth in her content, providing relatable advice that resonates and makes Nigerian mothers say, she's talking to me. And she makes me say that too. So welcome to the show, Jayne.
Thank you, Janice. I'm so happy. I'm so thrilled to be on your show. Thank you.
I'm excited to have you. Tell the listeners about yourself. You know yourself better than I do. I gave you an introduction, but who are you? Tell them who you are.
Okay. I usually find it very interesting when people ask me to introduce myself because as a journalist myself, I am used to introducing people. So when people ask me to introduce myself, I'm like, oh, really? So this is how it feels. So I'm a journalist and an editor by day and a mom blogger by night. I lead a small newsroom of young entertainment and lifestyle journalists out of Lagos here in Nigeria. And then by night, I'm a mom blogger. I run FabMom NG, which is a parenting and lifestyle resource site for moms in Nigeria and all over the world. I'm a mom of triplets. I have a set of triplets who are 12 years old and they are all girls. I love my family to bits. And yeah, I'm a wife. And I'm so passionate about parenting. I'm so passionate about intentional parenting and moms not losing themselves, in the process while mothering. I believe that a mom can have it all one day at a time with the right support system and with the right family. Sometimes that support system doesn't necessarily have to be your family or your spouse. You could create your own village.
Yes.
Because with the right support system, every mother, any woman can fly. So those are my beliefs.
Absolutely. Now you go by the name of Jayne A. Is that a pen
Yes.
name or you just want to be
No, okay, so
mysterious?
it's actually my surname is Ogoye, but most people find it, they feel it's like a tongue twister. So I'm like, just call me Jayne A.
So you just made it easy for everyone. I see. So you
Yeah.
guys heard it. All right. What is one surprising passion or quirk of yours that most people, even your followers, don't know about?
Now they will know.
They will know.
I think I have a crazy sense of humor, and I'm also I'm an avid reader. Anytime you see me checking something on my phone, maybe reading an article or even browsing the internet or on Instagram, even watching a comedy skit, I'm Googling, I'm searching. So I'm so hungry for knowledge. I love to learn new things. And those are some of the skills I'm passing down to my daughters because I feel that as girls and as women, sometimes we have to work twice as hard as the men to prove ourselves. So
Indeed.
I always go the extra mile to just I make sure that every day I learn one new thing.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's great advice for all of the moms and everyone
Yeah.
listening. If you can find
Yeah.
time to learn, and she has triplets, so no excuses. Or find time to learn one new thing a day.
Yes, one thing a day.
I love that. Okay. What did you learn today?
I learned how to use StreamYard.
That's a good one. I like that. You are funny. Your voice resonates because it reflects Nigerian motherhood with humor and honesty. How do you keep that authentic tone even as your platform grows? Because it exploded.
Yeah, I think it's about talking. So I'm passionate about talking about the things we whisper to our friends, on during those phone calls, those things we call our mothers to ask, those things we chat with our fellow friends on WhatsApp that bothers us, but we can't say because we don't believe or understand that other moms go through it. So those difficult conversations that you read and be like, aha, so I'm not the only one. So other moms can relate. Those are things I'm passionate about. So I use myself most time as the mirror. I
Yes.
think about things that, okay, can I continue?
Mhm.
Do I
Yeah.
continue? I lost you for a bit. Okay.
No, I'm here.
So I
Go ahead.
okay, I use myself as the mirror here. I'm like, what are those things that bother me most times? What are those things that keep me up late at night? What are those conversations I have with my friend? What are those things that bother me? What are those things that mothers want to talk about? So it's a blend of serious, unserious, humor. It's also a blend of the reality of parenting in Nigeria, the reality of African parenting, the reality of Black moms,
Mhm.
irrespective of your race. I mean, irrespective of the continent you find yourself. I just feel that some of these struggles are universal and every mom can somewhat
Absolutely.
relate.
Absolutely. We definitely can relate to each other and the
Yeah,
universality of it all is just something that we've all vibe
that's
and see. We're like,
that's
yeah,
true.
we know about that.
That's true.
Um, you say you go deeper than just what to do with as a parent. I've kind of researched it a bit. Can you share a moment when you went deeper than just what you do as a mom? Like, what does that mean?
Please, could you come again?
You have I've researched. You said somewhere that you go deeper than just what you do as a mom, like as a parent.
Mhm.
Can you share a moment, like maybe when you went deeper with parenting than just maybe even what we see online?
Oh, yes. So sometimes I find out that in creating content for my followers or for fellow moms or parents, I am also learning in the process. And sometimes I also realize how much I don't know and how much I know. And when you're raising daughters who are preteens, you're managing a lot of emotions. You're managing a lot of, especially for me, who I mean, like I said earlier, I'm a triplet mom. So the the peculiarity of raising three human beings of the same age at the same
Mm,
time, it's no mean task. So let me give you an example. My daughters, like I said, are preteens, and just this year, they saw their first period. And interestingly, my second daughter found her started first, and after 3 months, my last daughter started hers, and just last month, my first daughter started hers. So you see what happens during that time when the others haven't started. I think that's where the real work is, because you now have to explain, okay, so yes, you were born on the same day, you're of the same age, the same parents, the same mother, but that's to show you that you're all different, uniquely different and
yeah.
special. So you didn't start your menses because something is wrong with you, but because God just felt it wasn't time yet, so he was preparing you. So while you haven't started yours, let's also learn from your sister who has started, because my first daughter, when she's somewhat like the late bloomer, when she started hers, her sisters were so happy. They were like, Mom, let's throw a party. I was like, why? They were like, we were so scared that she won't start. I said, no,
Oh,
she was going to start. They were like, we're so scared that something was wrong with her. I said, no, even in your class, you'll find out that some people will not start until maybe they are 14, 15. I started early. I started at 11. Some people may not start early, but that doesn't mean that something is wrong with them. Eventually, everybody will catch up. I think it's the same conversation around milestones. And I'm still in line with giving you a personal experience. before they started their menstruation, I knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
So I had to use myself as an example. I waited for a time when I myself was menstruating. Sorry, this is a bit of dirty talk. And I had to call them in
Never
and say,
dirty.
see how it is. This is what you will see. In case you wake up one day or you're at school or you're at grandma's and you see
Yeah.
this, don't panic. It just means you are now, it's like a rite of passage. And then I
Yes.
had to teach them how to use the pads and everything. And God's so kind. The first time, the first person who started her period, my second daughter, she was at my mom's, and then she runs to my mom and said, "Grandma, I think I've started menstruating." And my grandmom, typical African mother, she was scared. She was like, "Menstruating? How? Who taught you menstruation?" I said, "Like, mommy told us." So my mom called me and she was like, that was some proud mom moment that
Aw.
I had prepared her. So my daughter was not scared. So she was the one, of course, my mom is no longer menstruating. So you had to get her tissues first. So she helped her one. She said, Grandma, I know how to do it. So my
Mm-hmm.
mom was so happy. And when my mom called me, I wasn't scared. So I think, when we prepare our children ahead of time for major life changes, it just makes life easy for us and for them.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Now, with the triplets,
Yes,
girls, how do
yes.
you create space for self-care and healing?
Hmm. That's a tough one. I
Do
think it's
you?
just by being intentional. There are some days where I drop the ball. I won't lie to you. I don't also pride myself as a perfect mom because I still feel that the motherhood journey is almost like an everlasting school. As your children grow older, with each stage your roles change. I mean, by the time they become teens, what you'll be using is friendship. By the time they're out of the university, you become their advisor, you become somebody they can fall back on. So I am just that intentional parent who just tries every day to be there. There are some times where I question myself if I'm doing it right. But then something at the back of my mind just tells me the fact that you're worried about the fact that you're doing whether you're doing it right or wrong means you're actually doing good, because some mothers don't care. So I give myself grace. I don't beat myself up too much when I drop the ball, and I just take it one day at a time.
Okay, okay. So that's how you deal like with stress, because the next question is going to be about
Are you there?
balancing work and being a mom. So how do you balance all of that? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. We're broadcasting all the way from Nigeria. So we got to give her some grace, guys. So let her come on in. Besides we're pre-recorded, I can pause it. I'll just cut that part out. Like go take two.
Okay.
So how do you take care of yourself though with triplets? What do you do for you?
Uh, so I try to be intentional. I don't joke with my self care. And for me, self care most times is my monthly beauty routine. So at the beginning of each month, I try to take out time. My children, my husband know is sacred. I go to my hairdresser. I have my new hair done. I make my nails. I don't miss it. Sometimes I make my lashes if I feel up to it. And then what else do I do for self care? I love to sleep.
Sleep is
I love
important.
taking power naps.
Yes.
And also because of the nature of my job, because I do a lot of thinking, I do a lot of writing, conceptualizing. So I find out that most times I have this fatigue coupled with the demands of motherhood, wifehood, myself. So I try to take a power nap. That's also sacred. And luckily my husband understands that. And most times it's no wonder that most times when he wants to gift me anything, maybe for my birthday or anything, usually it's expatriates.
Okay. And you're still working as a full-time journalist too?
Yes, I am.
So how do you do all of this, ma'am?
Sometimes I ask myself how I do it. I also have a small team of two people who help out with content. I create the content, so I just delegate and have them put them together. Uh, but I also realize that if you are not um, really involved in your business or in your passion project, people can run it aground. So there is also a limit to which I allow them to help out. Then I do a lot
Okay.
of scheduling. I also thrive a lot on routines. It's not perfect. There are some days I don't even post, but I've also gone past that time when if I don't post in a day, I'm having panic. I get panicky. I've gone past that time because I feel that if you create content that is relatable and useful, it will be timeless. People can always refer, go back to it, refer to it. So you don't necessarily have to post every day. So I believe in quality over quantity. And for a lot of mom bloggers who are just starting out, they will fall under the pressure. They will
Yeah.
come under the pressure of having to post every day. But I don't think
Yes.
you do
Right.
have to post every day. You may when you're just starting out, but as you find your rhythm, your balance, you could do one a day, two a day. Take time to recalibrate, bulk create your content, batch them up. Thank God for scheduling tools. On Instagram, you can schedule your posts. So I make do with that a lot. Then occasionally, when I feel that the content is too heavy, too preachy, I throw in a bit of humor just to soften it.
I love that idea. Now you have the 12-year-olds. Do they help with filming too? Because I know they're some of the best photographers and videographers at that age.
Oh yes. So one of my daughters is interested in. She's quite techie, and I told her the other day, Eloho, I think you should start learning how to film, because it will be such a delight to have you film and edit, and it's something I think you could do. I had to introduce them to Canva because I told them you could also, you know, create my posts. And who says I won't pay you? I think we could start like that, and they are very involved in my platform. Most times of the content I create around growing children of school age, I get it from them. Sometimes I have these informal chats with them. Okay, so what's trending? What are the you know most popular children's show? And they're like, oh mommy, you need to watch what did they say the name was? K-pop vampire slayers. I'm like, okay, which one is that? You need to watch it. I'm like, okay, you know what, you sound so passionate about it, and I'm also a writer, and I'm also trying to groom them into writing and reading. So I had one of my daughters write a review. I told her to
Yeah,
review it. It doesn't have to be
that's great.
perfect. Review it, and we'll publish it. At my the news house, the newspaper I work at.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, that's
Yeah,
perfect. And
yeah.
it helps with their writing skills as well.
Yes, it does.
That's amazing. The hashtag intentional motherhood. Did you make that up? Because I saw it a
No,
lot.
no, I didn't make it up.
Okay.
It's a movement. It's a
Yes,
movement. It's a movement that is growing. And I'm happy that our generation of mothers, your generation of mothers, are intentional about healing, healing from that toxic cycle. And I
hmm.
don't also like to beat our parents too much because they raised us the way they raised us because that was the best they knew. And some of the skills our parents, parenting skills or styles our parents take on, is also a reflection of how they were raised. So we should also cut them some slack, because even I'm sure my children would take a bit of what I have, the way I've raised them, and add their own too. So it's a cycle that is being passed on. I think that intentional motherhood is one of the hardest things to do, because with intentional motherhood, it's almost like there's no freestyling. You
Yeah.
watch what you say, you watch what you do, you
Hmm.
watch how you do it, because really our children are watching us. They're not necessarily listening to what we are telling them. They're watching us live out, the instructions we give them. And I think that's so profound. When all of us, when we moms and intentional dads to um, realize this, I think we'll do better as parents.
I agree. And I have adult kids now, so I got to tell you, they will remind you
They
of
will.
things that you never even thought twice about
Yeah,
when they get
yeah,
older. They'll be like, you remember when you did this?
yes,
And it sticks
yes,
with them. And you're like, no, I
yes.
don't remember that, but
And
okay,
our
I'm
children
sorry.
mirror us. They mirror us a lot.
Hmm.
And I
Absolutely. So,
think when you have daughters, you also have to be very careful, because you are their first role models. I remember when I was
yeah,
having this informal career conversation with my daughters. I'm like, what do you want to be in future? And they're like, journalist. I'm like, why? I'm like, mom, you're a journalist, so why can't we be journalists? I'm like, no, you can't be a
exactly.
journalist. If you want to be a journalist, I wouldn't want you to be a journalist in Nigeria because of the peculiarities. I mean, if I had my way, I would love to choose their career path. maybe because I've seen it all, but I also believe in passion, following your passion.
Yes.
It's different in the States because, I mean, over there, you see people who read medicine with a minor in drama. You see things like that. But here in Nigeria, if you're studying medicine, you're a doctor full on. If you're studying engineering, you're an engineer. Nothing like minors by the side, except you on your own decide to, pursue your talents or your passion outside of your core course you know. And
Mhm.
what a lot of Nigerian parents would tell you, and a lot of Nigerians will tell you, is that most times we read the courses we read because, one, it was easier to gain admission, and not necessarily because that was what you're passionate about, and two, because we feel that those are the courses that would give you jobs. So back here in Nigeria, in Africa, the top courses are medicine, engineering, maybe let me not say top courses, the prestigious courses: medicine, engineering, maybe law, maybe being an architect, or maybe being a pilot. So we
Mhm.
attach a lot of prestige to certain courses, and then this leads a lot of people to taking on courses they naturally aren't passionate about. In my
Yeah.
own case, I ended up as a journalist because both my parents are journalists. My dad is a broadcaster. My mom was a broadcaster. So I think journalism just found me. So imagine being raised in a home where both parents are journalists. You know, my brother read geology, but guess what? He works at a TV station.
That happens sometimes. That
Uh-huh.
happens sometimes. Oh,
Uh-huh.
wow.
So I know that most times our passion, our careers, our aspirations rub off on our children. But I also feel that as much as my personal opinion though, as much as we want to give them that leeway to choose whatever it is they want to, we should also guide them.
Yes.
We should
I
also guide them. Yeah.
That's great parenting advice. You mentioned earlier that for new influencers, they should not have to feel like they need to post every single day and all of this content, and they would find basically their rhythm and vibe. What other advice would you give to Black moms right now that will watch this and they
Mm,
might want to do what you do?
mm.
What else could you tell them that might be helpful?
Okay, I'll say find your rhythm.
Hmm.
Don't look at, because there's this tendency to want to look at what the other mom bloggers are doing, but I'll say don't do that,
Right.
because you'll be caught in that trap of comparison, forgetting that we are all different, we're all
Hmm.
unique. Let me give you an example. I love to talk. I love to put a camera in front of myself and talk, but the reason why I don't do a lot of videos is because I don't know how to edit, and I have so many ideas in my head, and because I don't know how to edit, especially on the go, it means I have to get someone to edit those videos for me. I tend not to do so many videos. Then number two, I also feel that with videos, which of course you could connect more with people, I find that it's not easy for me to churn out videos as much as it's easier for me to write. Maybe because I write for a living. So I feel we should every mom blogger should find their rhythm, find your sweet spot. There must be something unique about you. And guess what? When you are uniquely you, your audience will appreciate you. And I've gone past that phase of my blogging career when I used to um, bother so much about the vanity metrics. I'm checking how many people liked them, how many
Yeah.
people saved. But right now, I'm like, if only 3 people can connect to what I have posted, I'm okay.
Yes.
Because usually, I would say your message isn't for everyone. Even if you're a parent blogger or a mom blogger, your message isn't for everyone. There are sometimes I put out some hard truths and people tackle me in the DMs. Initially, I will go and delete, but now I
Yeah.
leave it. If it gets too hot, I turn off the comments. But you
Yeah.
must listen to it because it's my opinion, you know.
Mhm.
But I try to be, I think, also listen to the pulse of your audience. What is it um, that they like? Back here in Nigeria, I realized that my followers love a lot of marriage content. It's crazy. They prefer, so my top performing posts are marriage posts, and sometimes I'm like, what's happening? My second best performing posts are parenting posts, especially about intentional parenting, and then education posts, and then maybe humor. And then they don't really, moms who follow me don't really care so much about themselves. When I mean themselves, so post around personal development as a mother do not do so well as much as post about parenting tips and the like. So it just tells me that it just confirms my thoughts that mothers always put themselves last and their children first.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I still do those posts. So sometimes 5 people, 10 people can relate, are saving it or are reaching out to me. I'm happy, and that's why I said earlier that your message isn't for everyone.
I like that, and that's a
Mm,
good reminder that it's not
yeah.
for everyone.
Hmm.
Now, what's next for you, or what are you working on now that you would want to share with the audience?
What am I working on? So, one thing I grapple with, let me just confess now, Janice. One thing I grapple with a lot is procrastination. And I think a lot of moms, especially with growing children, can relate to. I usually leave a lot of things to last minute. And something happened 2 days ago that really made me have a rethink about procrastination and the dangers around procrastination. So, quick one, there was this book I've been writing forever in my head.
Mhm.
And then I'm okay. On Monday, I reached out to my graphic designer to help me design the cover of the book. After much procrastination, I started writing. And then he took some time to reply. So I got on to other things. I opened Instagram, and guess what, Janice? A Nigerian celebrity had launched the same exact
Idea.
book I was writing, or I'm writing.
Oh
And that's
wow.
not all. The person who I wanted to write the preface of the book is also a celebrity here in Nigeria. That same person also advertised that book for that celebrity.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, so it taught me one big lesson, which is that when God drops an idea in your head, He's dropping it in the minds and the heads of millions of people. So it's not who got the idea first, it's who got to work, who brought it to life. So any idea you have, so I had to share with some moms in my community, any idea you have, please run with it. What's the worst that could happen? You will fail. But there's a lesson in there. Even if you fail, you will learn how to do it better next time. So I was so sad on Tuesday. I couldn't even post anything because trust me, how would I now put out my book? Because without it seeming like I was, copying the celeb. And guess what, Janice? I hadn't spoken about the book to anyone. Even my designer just found out about it on Monday. So, I mean, there was no way, you know, he could have been the one who betrayed me. So that's to
Wow.
also tell you that no idea is 100% yours. So once you get an idea, please run with it. Because the more you delay, you will just realize that time will pass you by. Other people who God has laid that in their hearts would run with it, and you will just keep beating yourself up. So I was so sad. I spoke to a friend of mine, and he said, "You know what? This is a celebrity. You can't compete with that person. So just let it die down for a while. We'll think of a different, we'll look for a sweet spot to that book and then we'll launch it later. So I think you should go on to the next book." So right now I'm working on a book, which hopefully by God's grace should be out around summer, August. August.
Okay. There you go. And your friend had great advice because I was going to tell you, just look in the bookstore and see how many books that are very similar or almost exactly alike,
Yeah.
that are even categorized by
Yeah.
the topic in the library. Doesn't mean you can't do it. You have a
Yeah.
different audience. You have a different perspective.
Yeah.
So, maybe let it die down for a little while and then come back out with it. It's okay. We have more than one
Yeah.
book on the same topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do
That's
it.
definitely my mantra going on. No
Good.
more delays. And I'm also hoping that God helps me overcome procrastination.
I'm sure he is as we speak. I'm sure it's working out for you. If you could make one wish for one thing right now that could help you succeed even more,
Hmm.
what would that be?
Do you want to know?
Yes, we want to know.
Ah,
Inquiring
more
minds want to know.
money, more money, more
More
money,
money. Okay, that's a
more
good one.
money, more money. I think more strength and more fresh ideas.
Okay.
More
Money.
money, good health, and fresh, innovative ideas.
Okay. I love that. That's a good answer. We all could use more money. They could just
Oh,
start
yes.
dropping these campaigns on us. It'd be great.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes. And I also
campaign.
think one other thing, sorry, Janice, let me just drop this. One other thing that some of us who people think have got it all figured out grapple with is imposter syndrome.
Oh,
And
imposter syndrome. Yes.
yeah, and I think it's something that we need to watch, because every win, that comes naturally is a win. You merited it. So, I mean, for the longest time, I used to suffer from that until I began to embrace my wins. And I remember some of my friends telling me, Jane, you don't talk about your wins as much as you should. And I'm like, no, I'm not that kind of person. I love quiet wins, I love quiet success. But they're like, no, the world is not kind to quiet people or
Yeah.
to shy people. I'm like, yes, but we should strike that balance. Because of the nature of my job, I've been doing this for, I mean, I've been a journalist for over 15 years. I have interviewed some of the biggest Nigerian celebrities, personalities. I've helped some of them, I mean, the course of their careers. And people like, you should talk more about that. I'm like, no, no. I don't think, I don't think I should let my work speak for me. But I'm also learning to take some of that advice, because I feel that we should be unashamed of our success,
Right.
as long as you are not brash about it, as long as you are not arrogant about it. Well, if you want to be arrogant about it, hell yes. But I think we should own our success, and we should just be unapologetic about it.
I think
Humility is good.
something. Mhm.
Humility is good, but we should strike that balance. You should be your own PR.
I agree. So
Yeah.
I can relate to that. I went to Catholic school for
Mm-hmm.
10 years and
Mm.
it's all about being humble and so I would win awards and never say anything, but I can promote the heck out of somebody else. But for
Imagine.
me, I was modest. And then it's just last year I said,
Uh huh.
screw that. I'm just going to tell people what I've done, what I've won, what
Yes.
and my awards. And it was so much that people didn't believe me. I
Imagine.
literally had to pull the awards
Imagine. So,
out.
and here in Africa, we are taught to be humble. In Nigeria, they are like, women should be humble, especially when you get married. Once you are married, you should be humble. The cultural limitations, sometimes, if you're not careful, it will also spiral, into your day
Mhm.
to day, maybe work or business, such that you are ashamed to. You're not free to shout about your winnings, because you're supposed to be modest as a woman. It's an African cultural thing.
Mhm.
So a lot of us here grapple with um, being modest about your win, because you don't want to be seen as too loud or too
I
successful,
see.
especially
Okay.
when you're married. But I think all of that, we should throw all of that into the bin. If you're married to a supportive spouse, your win should be his win.
Yes, well, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. And but
yeah,
over here we're loud. We're known
yes,
to be
yes,
very loud. I
yes,
I mean, I might be loud, but always when it came to me, I wasn't loud enough as everybody else that I would be loud about my daughters and their success. I was always
yeah,
promoting them. But
yeah,
when I had to ask myself, what is it about me that I'm not promoting me? And it had to do with I was taught to be humble. And but when
yeah.
my daughters, I knew I had to be loud because no one they wouldn't have gotten the attention they needed
God
to be
bless you for
successful.
that. Janice, I think that's a very profound thing, because I was telling my friends that I can't afford to be shy, because I'm raising daughters. I want
Yeah,
to raise strong daughters, strong black daughters who are not ashamed of their roots, who are not ashamed to
perfect.
achieve. And I'm of the belief that whether or not you're married, if you want to buy a car, please buy a car, because here in Africa, in Nigeria, there's this saying that once you're a single lady, and you want to buy a car, don't buy a car so that you won't be too big for a man. No, you don't have to shrink yourself.
Oh,
Yes, it's a
I know
cultural
that.
limitation. So I feel you don't have to shrink yourself. The moment you have to shrink yourself to suit a man, then he means he's not yours. So I want to raise my daughters to be strong, to be ambitious, obviously not overly ambitious, to be confident. And one of the best ways I can do that is by being that myself. Because, like I said earlier, we are our daughter's first role models. They see you, they want to be like you. Your marriage is their first picture or understanding of what a marriage should be. I mean, your marriage to their dad, your husband, is what shapes their perception about marriage. So we have to be careful about the narrative we are portraying, whether directly or indirectly.
Absolutely. No, I think all of this is such great advice for moms, even for the influencers who may be watching that are even either
Yeah.
thinking about doing it. Um, in the States, we have a lot of change going on. I'm going to say it as nice as I
Okay.
can. We have a lot of change going on.
Okay.
A lot of people are losing their jobs. People
Wow.
are trying to figure out new avenues to make money because being employed here there's no loyalty, so there's no guarantee you're going to have a job. If you get one
Okay.
this year, that you're going to have it again next year. So
Okay.
I know a lot of Black women are thinking about this, but they have no idea how to go about being an influencer. But it seems like it's a way they can work, stay home, and be with their children. So it's
Yeah.
very attractive.
It
So
is.
that's what inspired this whole thing. I said, let me talk to some of these Black mom influencers. We became an influencer really we've been doing it for a while, but I always worked full time while doing this. So I
Oh,
never really put
okay.
into it. So we became an influencer last year when Google, Disney, Meta all started hitting us up and saying,
Okay.
hey, can you do some stuff with us? And I was like, am I an influencer? I guess I
I
am.
know. I
So I was
know.
like,
I know that feeling.
yes, all right, let's do this. So yeah, so it took me working on it full time though to get to that point.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of time. But I want to thank you for coming on the show. But I want you to tell audience, I have your Instagram up here, how they can follow you, dive into your resources, and stay
Okay.
connected with Fab Mom. So let me say right,
NG.
Fab Mom NG.
NG. Okay. So thank you, Janice. So you could follow us on all socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on X, formerly Twitter, at FabMumNG, MUMNG. So, like I said earlier on, we share parenting, motherhood nuggets that people are really shy about, talking about. We go deeper, we
I
delve
love it.
deeper. But
I love it.
definitely, you would find one or two posts that would speak to you. You'll be like, oh, really? So this problem is universal. That's what makes us stick. So please follow us on all the social media handles.
You guys, you heard that. Follow her. We support it, and you let us know if there's anything we can help with because I'm always open to help others. And I want to thank you, Jayne, for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Janice. It was a pleasure.
All right. And a big shout out to all of you who are watching us on Back Talk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine. Be sure to follow us on social media. Click on everything, follows, likes, ads. That all helps us to survive so we can help you to thrive. And until next time, I wish you all the best and much success. Take care. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Back Talk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine. We'll see you soon.